So someone has told you that you should just be yourself. That's the best way to find someone who will love you and have a great relationship. But if you're anything like me, you're a bit of a fucking weirdo, and that doesn't sound like it's really gonna work. You might be thinking, well, I've tried being myself before and people just didn't like it. So now I'm just being a version of myself that includes all the things that I know people are gonna like. But people just can't see how nice I am. I've really struggled with this as well, struggled with the advice to just be yourself. But now I've actually found a way that it actually makes sense. So party people, my name's Sarah and I'm here to deconstruct your seemingly terrible dating advice and help you see your world and yourself from a different perspective. See, you may or may not realize it, but you are definitely acting differently to be liked by people. We all are doing it. The problem is, it doesn't always actually help people like you more. You can't really build authentic connections when you're censoring yourself. You end up with a bunch of people who think, oh, they're really nice, they're a nice person, but who don't think that you really gel with them. Because when you're being inconsistent, people don't feel like they can really get to know who you really are, and you can't build deeper connections. When you're putting forward this polished version of yourself, you're trying to be more likable, you're trying to be agreeable. In some cases, you will actually be successful and people will believe that you are the person that you're presenting as. They might even show you that they like those behaviors. They might start to show you they don't like some of your authentic behaviors. That's when those feelings of, see, people don't actually like who I really am, start to come up, because you're not feeling appreciated for who you really are. And let's just say you do start to show more of your authentic behaviors and that person pulls back because it's not the person that you were previously presenting as. Well, then you are going to feel like, see, people don't like who I really am. But in reality, any fallout or loss in a relationship there is just realignment, because your relationship with that person wouldn't have developed as far as it did had you had been your true self from the start. Can you actually be yourself? I know that's a weird question. Being authentic to yourself is actually really tough to want to do if you think it's going to stop people from liking you. And even more so if you think it's going to stop you from being able to be loved. But it's so easy to do when you decide that you want to do it. When you realize that true connections and true relationships exist only when you are authentic, then you believe that you need to do this. You need to be authentic to yourself. Do you know those friends that you have who you just love to bits? You feel like they understand you, you feel seen by them, you feel accepted by them, and you actually feel loved by them because they know who you really are and they're still around? You can have that in your partner as well. When you stop acting like a tryhard and trying to be all the things that you think people want you to be, we gotta stop that. Now, although it's less effort to be yourself once you decide to be, it does mean that you have to be vulnerable. You have to put yourself out there, and you can be rejected, you can be judged. I'll go through some starting points a bit later in the video, but you really need to decide that you want to do this to be able to do it. Do you know why I think you should be yourself? To put it really simply, even when you try to be what you think people want you to be, people may still not like you. So if you're out here trying to get other people to like you, you're missing out on the people who would like who you want to be. My advice is to become the person that you like. Then you'll attract people who like the things you like, because you're being what they like by being what you like, and you get what I'm saying here, right? It's scary, but if you put your whole unabashed self out there, unapologetically, you get to see who actually appreciates that. So here's the money shot, guys. This isn't about people not liking you. This is about the types of people that you are trying to impress not liking you. And that's That's where this mismatch is coming in. Don't put their approval of you over your approval of you. If you're not acting in accordance to your own values, then it's really hard for you to like you and draw in the people who like you the way you like you. I don't know how to put it more simply. I'll give you an example. So I had a moment of anger with one of my friends a few months ago. The way that she spoke to her husband just didn't agree with me. And I said to her, how do you have a husband and I don't? I'm out here being so lovely and nice, giving people exactly what they want. I'm not being difficult and pushy. And here you are, being difficult and pushy and having someone willingly committing to you. I just don't get it. What I didn't get was that I wasn't around my people. Those guys loved casual bullying. That ain't me. I'm sure her husband would not have been attracted to my overly niceness because I'm not their people. It doesn't mean that I should change and accept casual bullying in my relationships. It doesn't mean they should change and be more lovey-dovey and mushy in the way they talk to each other. It just means we're different people. We're meant to be with different people, and that's okay. The real takeaway here is you can be loved for the person who you truly are, but you might not be loved by the person you're wanting to be loved by right now. And it may take some time to let go of that. What I had to realize is that I wasn't attracting people who liked my weird quirks, who liked how excited I get and how fast I talk and how much I try to empathize with other people. Because I was being a different way than who I am. Because I was acting the way I thought people wanted me to act and trying to impress people who weren't ever going to be impressed by who I really was. Here's one for you. If you're worried that you're being too nice and not true to yourself, check out this book by psychologist Dr. Aziz Gazipura. It's legit called Not Nice. He talks about people pleasing and how society has conditioned us to think that we need to be nice, and the difference between being nice and being authentic and kind, which are way more real and way more lovely. The piece that we need to let go of is we can't make people like us, but we can draw in the people who like us for who we really are by putting who we really are out there. What does that look like? How do you be yourself more? I'll go through a couple of pointers here that can get the ball rolling for you. 1, speaking up when you don't agree with something. Saying your opinion is the easiest way for people to get to know you, what's important to you, and what you care about. 2, acting how you feel, not how the situation is. Let's just say you're at a party and people are sipping wine and talking quietly. I'm not saying go out and be inconsiderate, but if you feel like telling jokes and having a milkshake, do that. There's every chance that there's other people at that party who are like, fuck yeah, this is a way better vibe. 3, saying no to things you don't want to do. It's going to take you away from people doing things that you don't agree with or enjoy and give you peace and energy back, which is mad. 4, hanging out with people who align to your values. It's a common statement that you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. So if you're hanging around with people that think fashion is more important than comfort, then you're likely going to prioritize fashion. And that's fine if that's you, but if it's not you, then think about the people that you're spending your time with. Think about why you are making a decision. If you're going to a football match with your friend because you don't want to upset them, then that's kind of a shitty reason to do that. But if you value quality time with your friend and you think that you can get that out of going to the match, then awesome, go. By thinking about why you're doing things, it means you'll only be doing things when you don't have a yucky feeling of obligation. You'll also have way more clarity around what you're feeling and what you want to do, instead of just agreeing to things to people please or to impress people, and then wondering why you feel annoyed or let down or unappreciated all the time. That was your decision. You might not be presenting as your true self yet, and that's why you're not yet attracting people who like you for who you are. You're still attracting people who are liking the person that you're presenting as. This all sounds very scary, but I'm telling you, what is waiting for you on the other side of this vulnerability is fucking epic. Being loved by someone who appreciates who you are is where the magic is. You won't feel like you owe them for being with you because they want what you are. They're going to treat you well because you are unique and you are what they want. Your strengths will be leveraged because you'll be leaning into your strengths instead of always trying to push them down and be different. Life will legit be easier for you and your relationships. The best part of just being yourself is the whole world complete feeling of nirvana that you reach when you truly accept yourself. Just that release of pressure and obligation when you realize you don't have to be all of the things that you've been trying to force on yourself in order to be loved. The clarity of purpose when you see that your only goal is to be the truest version of yourself and live in line with your values. And the conviction that you feel when people don't take to your energy. It's actually really calming for me when I see that I'm just being myself, and any kind of animosity towards that or rejection of that is just going to save my time and energy, because it's letting me know that I'm around people who aren't aligned to me. And that's okay. Not everyone is. Then it gets even better. The excitement when you draw people in towards you because of your uniqueness. You'll find these people who are just in awe of you. They'll actually come up to you and be like, wow, like, you're pretty awesome. And these people will be awesome to you in your eyes because their values align to yours. And there's this overwhelming feeling of love when you get to connect with people who love who you're being. It's truly what life was made for. I know it's scary to be vulnerable, and I know it will cause some loss. I've lost friends, I've lost hobbies when I was doing these hobbies because I thought that they made me cool. But you gain so much. I know this is dating advice, but I don't even think that finding my person is the truest win here. Finding your people, groups of friends who love you for who you are, and finding the joy in being yourself. Those are the truest wins. So go on. Be a little neurotic about the windscreen wipers. Be really particular about the temperature of your tea. Be excited that you saw a caterpillar. Be annoyed that people aren't nice to dogs. Spend 3 hours drawing anime. Sing along to your favorite TV show's theme song. Say yes to a second dessert. And say no to any advice that you don't agree with, including this. Legit, lean into what you feel and think, and the people who you draw in, those will be the ones who can love you for who you are. Share this with someone who you love their whack. Cheers, guys.